Welcome to Sold with Webinars, a podcast that aims to uncover how the most successful experts, coaches, consultants, and e-course professionals sell their products and services with just one sales presentation or webinar. A simple sales webinar can transform the business and life of a solopreneur. And this podcast will show you how other experts just like you are generating 6 and 7 figures per year online with their webinars. So let's get started.
Hey everybody, it's Joel Irway here, and today I've got a very special episode for you. We are not doing a guest today, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek as to something that we're cooking up behind the scenes. And for anybody who's just getting started out and need to really maximize your offer, I'm going to show you a story about how we've taken one of my clients to go from $0 to $13,000 in collected sales within 3 weeks. And I'm also going to be discussing a couple of my other clients who've been getting even bigger results from this new system that we're calling a mini webinar. I don't want to spoil too much. It's a very short podcast, but it's extremely valuable. And this is going to be important for anybody who, again, is just getting started out and kind of looking to find their way and find their path. So you guys are going to enjoy this episode. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the content right now, and I hope you enjoy it. One last request is if you enjoy this style podcast, I'll call it a solo chat, right? Because I'm not interviewing anybody. Do me a favor, just shoot me an email at joel@thewebinaragency.com and let me know, hey, yes, I liked it, or, be honest, say, yes, I love your solo chats, or no, Joel, I prefer your interview styles, or I prefer a mix. But just looking for some feedback here, and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, enjoy the episode. I am so excited for you to join me today on our special podcast. I do not have a guest today for a very specific reason. Today, I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a different tone, and I wanted to share with you, many of my listeners have reached out to me directly, whether they've connected with me on Facebook or email, or they've come and they've consulted with me, or they've contacted me for some additional coaching. And so I wanted to fill you in on something that I've been working on behind the scenes that I truly believe is going to revolutionize the way that we market and sell online. It's going to change digital marketing specifically for those who are just getting started. I want to tell you a little bit of a story of a client that I'm working with right now. He had recently signed up with me less than a month ago. He reached out to me, called me. He's like, hey man, I want to launch a coaching program. I want to launch this offer. It's in the marketing niche, viral contest marketing, and he specifically wanted to work with e-commerce store owners. So I had mentioned to him that I had this offer that we are testing out, kind of behind the scenes, and I said, I really think this is going to crush it for you. And so he took a leap of faith and he invested with me, and we have now successfully launched his program. Within a matter of, I'd say, about a week, we had our first call. I showed him the setup, and we had launched this thing called a mini webinar funnel. Now, I want to take a step back here, right? And I want to talk to you, if you're just getting started out and you're just kind of trying to figure out what's working, I want you to imagine something real quick. And before you kind of, dive into the world of complex marketing and segmentation and split testing and, optimizing your ads and follow-up sequences and all that stuff, right? There's one thing that above all else is of the utmost importance. And if you don't have this one thing dialed in, the rest of your marketing doesn't matter. In the beginning part of 2017, I had made a commitment to myself. I had told myself that I'm going to get as simple as possible with my marketing and my sales systems. And every time that I launch a new initiative, I think to myself, how can I make this simpler? And when I did that, everything changed. And I called this the year of make the darn offer. Now, I curse a little bit, so I say make the damn offer. But if you don't like cursing, you can say make the darn offer. But I've been following this mantra all year, and it has paid substantial dividends. For people who come to me and they say, Joel, I want your help launching a webinar. I'm like, okay, great. Well, what are you thinking? 9 times out of 10, they'll come to me with an idea for a course. Like, okay, great. Got this course. I'm working with financial professionals and I can help them double their portfolio size. Or I want to show them how to trade Bitcoin. Or I want to show them how to trade whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. They've got a course for marketing or financial or relationship development, you name it, right? We've done hundreds of them. Very, very successful. What I'm realizing now is that I can get people so much more success, much faster success, if we just pause the course for a minute. Everybody wants to go down the course route. They're like, oh, I just want to sell courses. I want to sell courses. I want to sell courses and training and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, that's great. How many have you sold so far? Well, I haven't sold any yet. This is a brand new idea. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably going to be way too expensive for you. I tell them that up front. And so like I don't want them to leave the conversation with them feeling disgruntled. And I said, well, what if I gave you an offer? What if I presented an offer for you that, rather than selling the course first, what if we sold a service or a coaching program that still ties in your original course? And their ears perk up a little bit because this isn't really what they were expecting to talk about. And so they said, okay, well, I'm interested. Tell me a little bit more. I'm like, okay, how much did you want to sell that course for? And they'll say, oh, $997, right? For some reason, everybody in the world wants to sell a $997 course. It is just like that magical number, right? It's like, yeah, $997. I want to sell my course for $997. I'm like, okay, well, if you did sell it for $997, I can guarantee you that we can sell it for at least $5,000 if you put them through the same course and we offered a coaching program. You gave them like a once-a-week call or twice-a-week call with some sort of implementation strategy associated with it. And they're like, oh, wait a second. What? You told me I can go cold traffic straight to a $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 sale? No way. And now their mindset shifts a little bit. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I talk about these conversations, and I'm going to go back to the client that I was just talking to you about when we started this podcast. I'm going to bring this home, for full circle. People want to go, like, the webinar is like the simplest marketing system. Like, believe me, it is. You add to a registration page, and then you get the webinar, and then the sale, right? But I'm like, well, how can I make that simpler? And if I were to say that there's a downside with the direct selling webinar, the only downside is people try to do the direct selling webinar too soon, in my opinion, especially when they're just starting out. And so when I get them to shift their belief that, okay, now you can make a $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 offer with the exact same course that you were already going to create. And what if I told you that you could start collecting sales within the next 7 days? I mean, you could start selling that within the next 7 days. Everyone's like, no, I don't believe you. Like, there's no way we can do it. Well, that's when we created this mini webinar system, which is far more direct and getting people on the phone to say yes or no, or even just messenger bots. I've sold this through messenger bots where they click the ad and they pay me right away. And I've closed tens of thousands of dollars in sales just having them ping me on Messenger without even getting on the phone. And so I was talking to this client who signed on with me, and he originally came to me. He's like, yeah, I want to sell a $500 or $1,000 course teaching people how to implement an e-commerce viral contest marketing campaign. And he's had plenty of success. He's done $1 million businesses. He's sold a couple of $1 million businesses in the past, and he wanted to launch this. And so I said, listen, he originally came with a $500 course. I'm like, listen, man, you have great results from this. Like, yeah, we can launch a new e-commerce store and get them to $30K a month within the first 30 days. And I'm like, this is such a valuable offer. Like, you need to sell coaching. You need to sell implementation. And he's like, yeah, we can get this set up within 7 days. I'm like, okay, start this out as a service. Like, build this out for other people first. We'll do a mini webinar, which is completely automated, booking calls directly on your calendar every single day. I was just messaging him. He just messaged me earlier this evening, and I want to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. So I asked, he's doing calls all day. I asked him how many calls he has tomorrow. He has 11 calls booked on his calendar tomorrow. I'm like, oh, you're a machine. Anyway, and so I'm like, rather than selling this at $500, let's make this a $3,000 offer, help them implement it, tell them you can help them get it implemented within 7 days, and they can launch it and they can realistically make, at least $10,000 from their campaign. Like, the value is clearly there. He goes, honestly, man, they should be able to make $30,000 from this campaign. And so we did that, and he's already sold 5. He's already sold 5 of these programs. He sold the first one at $1,000, and then he immediately went up to $3,000. He sold 4 of these programs at $3,000 each. And so he's already collected, $13,000 in revenue, totally collected. And he has literally launched this offer within the past 3 weeks, and has already collected $13,000. And so what we're working on with him right now is improving his phone closing and his sales conversations, because that's where the gap is. But I want you to understand something, okay? The number one thing that you have to focus on before you really even dial in the rest of your marketing is you need to get yes or no as quickly as possible on your offer. This is extremely important for your sanity. This is extremely important in saving time, because if you can talk to your ideal client and you can get them to say yes or no, and you can learn why they're saying yes or why they're saying no, the no is way more important than the yes is in the very beginning, because you have to figure out why they're saying no. And when you learn why they're saying no, then you can pivot your offer until you start getting the yeses. And when you start getting the yeses, then you can raise your price. And now you've got a real business. You've got a real sales funnel. We've been testing this behind the scenes with, so I'm hosting a live event kind of revealing this mini webinar funnel. It's called the $50,000 mini webinar domination event. The reason why it's called the $50,000 mini webinar domination event is because of this whole concept that I started back in 2017, which was make the damn offer. If you're afraid to make the damn offer and you're afraid to get that yes or no, you are going to have one heck of a time selling anything, whether it's from a direct selling webinar, from an automated webinar, any sort of marketing or sales funnel. That $50,000 per month mark is the threshold that you need to be hitting as quickly as possible before you really start optimizing anything else in your marketing funnel, right? We've been doing this. So by the way, guys, this client who's done $13,000 in sales within the past, 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. He actually started collecting all the sales like the end of last week. But anyway, we'll just say it's 3 weeks. No email sequences, no follow-up sequences. All it is this direct offer, making the darn offer as soon as possible, as often as possible, as frequently as possible, and collecting that data, revising the pitch, figuring out what people actually want to buy, and then he can start dialing in everything else until you get to $50,000 a month, or roughly $1 million a year, so $50,000 to $80,000 a month. Then you start building in segmentation and follow-up sequences. But this is my goal for everybody, because people don't realize how direct you can be with your offers. And this is how you quickly go to $13,000 in sales within the first 2 to 3 weeks testing a brand new offer. I've already been helping some of my clients who are coming to Lewiston for our inaugural mini webinar domination, 50K mini webinar domination event. My goal is to get everybody to $50,000 in additional new revenue by as quickly as possible, and implementing this strategy for a couple of my clients. Ryan, who was the first client that I had my accelerator call with, who's coming to the event, we launched a brand new offer with no paid traffic, going exclusively to his internal network. He sold out a brand new offer that we wanted to test. We built up the interest, built up the desire, built up the demand. He sold 5 spots at $5,500 each, which turned into $27,500 in collected revenue in 4 days. Brand new offer, brand new pitch. Anthony, who's another one of my clients, we are doing the exact same thing for, and we are going to be testing a brand new offer from him. And I challenged him to break Ryan's record. So we are going to set a goal of $35,000 in new collected revenue within 7 days for Anthony, right? This is what I want to do for my clients, because that $50,000 a month mark seems like it's a big pie in the sky for a lot of people. But until you're willing to put in the work, and it's not even a whole lot of work, it's just getting on the phone, talking to people, figuring out what they need, and figuring out if your offer resonates with the desire and with the need. $50K a month. That's what I want to help these people get to. That's what I want to help you get to. And so when we, eventually I'm going to be revealing what this whole mini webinar domination system is, but we're doing the live event first. And I'm so excited because, within 4 days, we didn't even have the live event. I helped one of my clients get $27,500 in collected revenue. His best month prior was $30,000 per month. And I got him almost that in 4 days. I cannot wait to see what we're doing for the other clients. I'm working with a handful of them behind the scenes. I mean, these are the results that we've been getting. They're even better than when we launched our direct selling webinars. It's much faster, more direct, and a quicker approach to making this all work. So I wanted to share that message with you guys today. It's a shorter podcast, but I wanted to kind of implant into your mind, like, how can you make your offer as sexy as possible? And then reach out to people who are most likely to be interested and just get that yes, get that no. That's what we've got planning for this whole mini webinar domination event. I would love to hear your feedback. Reach out to me on Facebook. Reach out to me or at joel@thewebinaragency.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know that you listened to this. And, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this. And, we'll see. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. But I want to get your feedback and generate some interest in what we're working on. By the end of the event, we're hosting it on December 4th through the 6th. We're going to have amazing results, and I cannot wait to share with you what those results are and reveal this to the public. So hope you guys are doing amazing. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are in the world listening to this. I appreciate all of you, and we'll be talking soon. Take care.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to giving you the next one. You can also follow and watch the behind-the-scenes look at how I'm personally launching a brand new 6- and 7-figure product from scratch at soldwithwebinars.com/TV. And if you'd like to come hang out with other fellow experts, join our Facebook group at soldwithwebinars.com/experts. Join us next time, and I'll see you there.